England midfielder Owen Hargreaves in there too. They've got goals on the bench in Roy Mackay. And as for Chelsea, well, Petr Cech is in goal. It's very, very nearly that back five. Not quite, but nearly. But I tell you what, Ryan Bertrand as the Champions League winning left back will take that. Gallas, Cahill and Terry making up that four with him. Mikel Essien and Jody Morris. Ramirez one side, Malouda the other, Salomon Kalou up top, and tons more on the bench next to Roberto Di Matteo, who I might add is welling up. Mr. Cundy.
Well, I mean, it's that song stirs emotion anyway, doesn't it, Listen Dorma? But on a night like this, yes, it affects you, and that's what it does. That's what football does. That's what music does. And you're right, Ben. Moving to the team now. There's some players out there that you and I have commented on hundreds, Ben, of times.
And arguably the greatest of all, watching on from the bench, Gianfranco Zola, and yes, he will be wearing 25, and they are all wearing the number you would associate with them. Your beloved Blues have kicked off, and it's all immediately given away by Jody Morris.
Jody, come on, Jody.
Sending him a message about that later.
Yes,
because you and I know very well that on the training field with his various teams, Jody Morris very much has still got it, and he will think he can hold company with any of these and then some. We'll see. He's got Michael Essien next to him tonight. William Gallas at right back. Can't see Ramirez without thinking of you-know-what in the new camp in 2012.
Yes, yeah, that, I mean, the most remarkable of finishes. In fact, that season, of course, he scored in the FA Cup final against Liverpool.
The most remarkable finish to that half that changed the feeling completely.
Well, Ben, in
that semi-final.
Ben, I still watch that night in Nou Camp. I still think at times we're going to get beat. We're going to go out. You know, you know the result, but you still have to watch it just to confirm. Yes, it happened. Nice skill there from Jode.
Good ball, Morris to Malouda, patrolling in the number 15 shirt, that left wing, where he had a couple of stellar seasons under Carlo Ancelotti in particular. Well, shoot, they say. Well, that's where he hit the goal against Guardiola's Barcelona from.
Well, Ben, I'm going to have a moan already. The tempo's not quick enough. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to say now, the urgency, there's no urgency about this game, Ben. Move the ball quicker, left to right, buying a set. Feels a little bit like watching the game against Forest last weekend.
Yeah, the spirit is willing, don't worry about that. The competitive streak is there. The flesh is a bit weaker for sure, and especially more so given the ridiculous record-breaking temperatures at the moment.
Yes, Ben, I can only imagine when the players signed up to do this, and of course it wasn't a difficult decision for them. There's the shoot again. You and I covered that game, Ben.
Well, better than the past was.
Yeah. I'm sure when these players signed up, they thought, you know what, right? Yeah, beginning of September, yeah, the weather won't be so bad. I won't have much on that weekend. Oh my gosh, yeah? Hottest day of the year, the day before. In fact, I don't know what the records are. They must have been sitting there thinking, how's our luck? No, seriously, how is our luck? Of all the days in the year that this game had to be played on, it had to be around the hottest day of the year and in a heat wave, but...
Simple selection for Robbie Di Matteo. He said the ones who've been able to handle the physicality of it in the training, and the ones who I think won't be too knackered too quickly. There'll be plenty of substitutions, don't worry, so there'll be far more ovations.
Well, Chelsea got a nice tight back four there. Gallas goes out, and it's a poor pass. Gallas keeps it in. I mean, I'm just watching these players, Ben, and like I said, you know, you and I have been commentating on some of these lads here, watching their debuts, and you know, and watching them leave and carve out not just wonderful careers here, but abroad and international honours. But each one of them you look at, I just think of Gallas. Whenever I see Gallas, I think of that goal against Spurs. And I don't know what your immediate
100%
immediate thoughts
it's the
are.
only one from down here
yes.
in the shed end goal, and it was a couple of days after Peter Osgood had died, and it was the last minute, and the emotions were high anyway. Drawing a game against Tottenham, and he larrups one in from 25 yards. First corner of the game goes to Chelsea. Jody Morris has won it.
When you say won it, Ben, he just trundles out and then manages...
No less of the trundling. Gary Cahill is up, John Terry is up, two of the finer headers in of corners. And it comes towards them now. Cahill chests it down.
Go on, really, yes.
Here he is, Gallus, a little bit wider than the angle he had before. Essien to Mikel. Yes, Claude Makelele is on the bench to complete the potential trio there. Essien floating it deep. Nice touch. Lucio in the way. Starker will actually let Lucio, who's grown his hair these days, take over.
It was JT fast stick. He just side-footed a ball across the 6-yard box. It was cut out, but Mikel doing Mikel things there, dropping in when needed.
Sideways passes.
By the way, that Champions League performance, there was so much going on. I've watched that game countless times, but his performance on the night was utterly astonishing.
You're talking Bayern now?
I'm talking Bayern.
Not
12.
Barca, yes.
I'm talking Bayern. That performance that he put in on that evening, I think perhaps gets overshadowed a little bit because of what happened. I think it gets a little bit lost. I don't know what you think.
I mean, the performances of a Mikel or a Makelele can get lost anyway, but when you add to it the glory and the everything of that night, then it's going to even more.
Gets a touch. That's what the ironic cheers are about. That we.
Well, he spent a long time doing that. Let's be honest, and that was his magnificent concentration, because he was behind such a good defence and such a good side that he often would have 20, 30 minutes without having anything to do. And then he'd pull off the save. Bayern can't get on the ball here. No. Malouda.
Jody's been pulling strings, by the way. That's nice.
That's his role. Rare touch for Elba.
Yeah, Jody's just he's operating in that number 10, is it number 10 role-ish. He's now sitting alongside Michael Essien.
Yeah, Mikel is the base of the midfield, and I don't think we want to see him anywhere else. That's where we saw him 372 times. Lucio's partner at the back, Daniel Van Buyten here.
I have to say, JT and Cahill, if physically, I could be watching.
That is a really good point.
I could be, if you just look at them, you could be watching, 12, 13, couldn't you? 14, those years.
Yeah, they've got it all right. I mean, maybe not in the sprints, probably,
but
we haven't seen that yet. No, but you're totally right.
Physically, they don't.
You can see others have eaten a bit better since.
I'm looking at Malouda's shorts. I don't mean to be... You take my point.
Oh, mind you, he's just been beaten to it, actually. There's a shot on here. Hargreaves is wide. Look out, look out! Oh, thankfully, it's just too high. So is it Paulo Sergio popping up in the middle? It wasn't.
He couldn't leap, could he? It's like... Nice build-up play, actually, from Bayern. The first real time they've got into our final third. There's a bit of space. Owen Hargreaves, I don't think he'll be too upset with the cross, I have to say. There wasn't a great leap, Ben, was there? There was, normally you see at that fast stick players of certainly certainly younger and fitter, licking their lips as this cross comes in. It wasn't the worst cross at all.
Just looking out there now, top of my head, I'm saying Salomon Kalou is the youngest player out there now. There are younger on the bench. That's given away. And here is Paulo Sergio. And now Pizarro taking over.
Pizarro, I've got Birmingham whenever I think of Pizarro.
Right, yes, the very start of his season.
Oh,
look at that little backheader. Petacek alert as ever. Good gravity, bowls it out quickly. Kepa take note. Mendy take note.
That's what keepers can do, even at this level. Get the ball, set up an attack. When they're out of shape, when their positional strategy has been left in some, well, there's certain holes on the pitch, move the ball quickly. Czech's done that, but the rest of the players have let him down. Yeah, going back to Pizarro, Ben, I seem to remember that goal against Birmingham. Late on, it was a 1-0 winner, I seem to remember.
Oh, I was thinking beginning of the season, was it not a 2-2 draw?
Was it a draw?
And Malouda got one as well. You're really testing me here. You're testing me.
It's
Malouda's taking a corner.
It's a late goal, I know that.
They both scored right at the start of the season, a 2-2 draw, and here is Malouda now, but Pizarro's on the other side. That's a great ball in towards Terry. 67 Chelsea goals. Just a few more than our friend Clive Walker, which always annoyed him that a defender did get more. He was always looking at JT coming up on the rails. I was just looking at his numbers down there. Forget the 67 goals, they're a bonus. 717. It's not quite Chopper. Ron Harris still way out top and Peter Bonetti, but in a modern day of the speed of the game and the level Chelsea were playing at, with all due respect to Chopper Harris and Peter Bonetti, because they played in a fine Chelsea side, but they didn't play in one of the best teams in the country for 15 years solidly, and he did. I mean, that is nuts.
No,
it
is nuts.
717 appearances for Chelsea.
It is nuts, and he came in, and it's, you know, that at that particular time, I remember hearing a lot about JT long before he made his debut at Chelsea, and you know, I watched him in the under-21s. I thought, what's all this noise about? Who's this young centre-half that's coming through this? And you know,
and a centre midfield before that.
And well, that's right, and that's how he, you know, you can see actually there is a midfielder. The way that he still plays, or did play the game, and I say still, but of course I mean in his professional career, that you can see the midfielder in him. But there was that period, wasn't there, where the stars aligned. You know, Frank came in, and then Roman turned up, and then the team was built around him, and you know that you can think about what might have been differently. You know, John Terry would have been a brilliant centre half no matter what happened. But the fact that the money was there to build a team around him and Frank, that was pretty much it, wasn't it? They were the two guys when you look back over that time when Roman came in.
And the stars did really align, because Marcel Desailly left that same summer that Mourinho came in, and it's okay, well, I've got this guy John Terry, I'm going to give him the armband. It really did. I mean, I talk about legends there, and a teammate of Lucas.
Desailly, of course, but
yeah.
Imagine playing alongside him. Imagine that.
Owen Hargreaves. And this is Vladimir Rankovic, and back to Hargreaves, who's definitely giving it the... I'm not too bothered about the football beforehand, but he definitely is, because they are. Here's Pizarro. Clever. Little give and go. Elbert. That was pretty for a moment. Gary Cahill there. Maybe the best decision anyone's ever made, leaving Bolton in January of that year and coming to Chelsea and winning everything. 263 is not a bad appearance tally, let's be honest, Gary Cahill. Full set for him. Here comes Essien. Oh, was that a step over? I think it was.
It was.
I mean, it was a sort of step over.
It was a step something.
Malouda. Chelsea fans in the shed end want goals. Chelsea fans in the Matthew Harding end will have to wait till the second half for Chelsea goals. Now there's a hand in the air. Gallas making the overlapping run over there for Michael Essien to try and hit. Couldn't quite do it.
I have to say, the Stamford Bridge faithful hoping today that might see a win and some goals. It's been a bit thin on the ground for both of those at the start of the season. Still, of course, there's only 4 games that have been played.
We'll get the confirmed numbers later, but from where I'm sitting, it's a massive crowd.
It's a huge crowd, Ben. You know, we're well into the late 30s would be my guess. Mid to late 30s. There's a patch where the away fans normally sit, which, but I have to say, maybe 1 or 2 of the executive, we can't really see them. It's an astonishing turnout. Can we give Ryan Bertrand a little mention as well?
Hasn't had much of the ball yet. He might get it now from Terry, though. Right on cue. Here he is. So he'll be younger than Kalu, and injuries have stopped him doing more in recent years. Went to Leicester, didn't really get a go because couldn't get fit half the time, or more than half the time. Coming in, playing so well on that night in Munich.
Well, yes, that was his Champions League debut, of course.
Ahead of Ashley Cole, who was at left
back. Here we go.
Essien's won it. Kalu on his bike, by the way. Oh, Michael Could do better than that. It's a disappointing ball, and the groans accompanying it.
Yes, and he you know, the thing with, it's amazing when and there's a little bit of space. I'll let you take over here, Benjamin.
Because he's up again this right-hand side, Rankovic. He's had a few little raids. Oh, that's very calm. William Gallas on the chest, back to his keeper. Don't lose that line of communication.
It's amazing, even though the legs perhaps can't play the pass the head sees, but the head still sees it. And that's the thing, you know, it's about having the vision, the ability to pass it. Of course, you need that as well, but it's having the ability just to be able to see it and then execute it.
Morris was looking for a run that Malouda hadn't made there. Here is Bertrand again. Solomon Kalou. Not quite the gap to have a shot there.
No, they're playing very defensive here, Bayern.
They are.
And there's a little bit
They go for the smash and grab.
Oh, he's trying to nutmeg JT, but JT's read it.
Parking the bus. Bayern, dare we accuse them of such things, Stefan Effenberg? It's hot, I know.
It's not getting the penalties, is it? I just wonder how Bayern will feel about that.
I love that. That's the biggest rule of the night, the Terry challenge, and he smiles and he gives Pizarro a little cuddle. and then gives him a little bump for the word. Excellent, excellent.
It's Owen Hargreaves. I just wonder, is there a... Is it? You never know.
No, it's Tronkowski. He looks,
was it? Right,
just like Hargreaves, and he had a little word for Pizarro afterwards,
right.
but it's Tronkowski. No, you won't want a 50-50 with him. And yes, hydration break for all concerned. Frank Leboeuf, incidentally, is stripped and ready on the touchline, and looks like he's itching to get on. 15 minutes more than enough, I think, before a bit of that. Are we going to see a bit of Leboeuf? Will he do his trademark? We can say these things now, folks. David Luiz, Didier Drogba, go down, maybe ham it up a little bit, get the big roar when you come back on. The last time we had a Legends match here, I forget now if you were with me, Inter played, and Leboeuf did it then. And funnily enough, Jody Morris was talking to us a little bit during the match there from the dugout, and he said, you watch Leboeuf, give it about 10 minutes, he'll go down, but he'll get up again and he'll be fine, and he'll get the roar. He did it every time I played with him. And sometimes he did it in training, and he did it within 10 minutes. So we shall see. Zola smiling next to Thiago Mendes, one of the loveliest blokes. And we are going to pop downstairs to join Lee Parker. What have you got, Parker, man?
Here we are with Frank. What have you made of the opening minutes here?
Well, that's encouraging. I would say we can achieve something good. I have some names of some players I will substitute right away, but I will keep it for myself.
How long before we see you on the pitch?
I don't know that. You have to see Roberto. Maybe for the last 5 minutes, that would be enough for the fans.
On that bombshell, it's back to you upstairs.
Right, he's got a few he'd be hooking. Typical of Leboeuf. I believe he lives in the States quite a lot nowadays.
There's definitely an American twang about his voice also.
And he rides motorbikes. John Terry still organising.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
You can take the armband off the man, but not for very long. He's got it back on, and yes, in full kit.
Very good, Ben.
Offside.
Is the VAR here, Ben?
No, we've decided against that this evening. Tell you what, there's a few players out there who'd have loved it here on that night when the air got sucked out of this stadium, when Guardiola's team won it right at the end there, Iniesta. When Michael Essien's goal deserved to be remembered. It's one of those goals that can get forgotten because of its surroundings, and I got a bit of stick at the time for calling it as one of the greatest goals Stamford Bridge has ever seen. And you know what? If that game goes the way it should, Tom Henning of Rabo, it would have.
No, Ben, I'm with you on that. You and I have done the commentary that evening. I can still... Well, we've seen the goal so many times. I actually saw the penalty decisions that didn't go our way. There were four.
Yeah.
And the one Is it Busquets that holds his arm? Who's the one that the handball from?
Eric Abidal, I think. Oh, Abidal, Busquets. Well, keep going, mate. There's a break on here. No,
referee!
Andre Mariner.
Oh, referee's got it blue a little bit.
Oh, puff of the cheeks
yeah,
from Morris.
Jody's not happy. I'm with him. There was it was the Nicolas Anelka towed around the centre half. PK. It's PK. It's PK.
To be honest, just about every Barcelona defender gave away a penalty that night, and yet none of them did. Flag up again here on
that was the
Vladimir
one.
Rankovic.
And there was a Malouda challenge. I think there were 2 on Didier. Had VAR existed back then, Benjamin, I think it would have been a 3-1 comfortable victory. But even the Eto'o handball from a shot from Ballack to right just after they scored the equaliser. Oh my gosh, it's disgusting. Anyway, let it go, Jason.
I was going to say,
let it go.
It's my fault for bringing it up. 14 years ago, Gus Hiddink should have been leading Chelsea to
it made it sweeter. It made it that much sweeter.
Of course, all of those moments from Monaco to Anfield, all of those, and Moscow, of course. We could keep going, but I'm not going to because it's too painful. Here's Ramirez, who helped make it sweeter so much. Jody Morris now. Come on, let's test out this Tom Starker.
Have a shot. Come on, guys.
It is a shot, if you can call it that. Florian Malouda, it just about made it to Tom Starker.
When you say Malouda's name, what game or what moment do you think of him?
That's a good question. There isn't immediately one, apart from a ridiculous header he scored, I think, against Aston Villa, where the cross pinged in from the right and he bullet-headed it from almost the edge of the box. It's one of the greatest headers I've ever seen. Torres did one once as well. What are you thinking, Malouda?
I've got a goal away from home. Was it Stoke? Towards the end of the game, like a late winner. Left foot from the right-hand side, left foot cuts inside, drills it.
He did score a late winner at Stoke. I am almost certain. I don't have all my notes.
No, I know, but you know that the old grey
no,
Matty,
right.
you can recall on just players. You can always. Well, I can close my eyes. I can see him cutting inside, pulling the trigger.
Definitely scored a winner against Stoke, and it was a blinder. You're right.
Yeah,
I've got it now. I was getting confused with one that Eden Hazard scored off his left peg at Stoke.
Oh no, that was. No, that was
really came out the blue.
That was an absolute. That was more central.
Bertrand again then. I'd like to see him bombing up the left a little bit more, given that he's younger and fitter.
He should be the fittest player on the pitch.
He should be. Plus Mikel, because he's always kept so much in the tank. Here he is. Morris trying to glance it on for Malouda. It's a nice idea. There's a lot of that. Tronkowski almost caught in possession by Morris.
Well, Jody does some nice things. He's also done some horrendous things as well. I'm sure he'll...
Beloved of these parts because he came through from these parts, of course, and nearly not far off 200 appearances.
Well, if you follow him on social media, he's a boy that had a dream, you know. He was not far from the North End Road down that way. Born and bred a Chelsea fan. To play for your club that you support, I was lucky enough to do the same.
And then to coach it.
And then to coach and do what he's done as well, absolutely.
No, not many get to do that.
No, you're absolutely
Support,
right.
play a lot and coach. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty special. Loose ball, JT steps in. Chance if Essien can get on his bike. Come on, Michael.
Essien, get moving. Malouda needs an option. Here is Essien. Oh, that was worth a hit. Maybe not. Ramirez, 4 in the box. Can he find a teammate? Oh, it's a good ball! Michael Essien at the shed end. Great cross, great finish. Chelsea won by 0. Fabulous and totally deserved. Essien leaps and nods in. Maybe not the best goal Stamford Bridge has ever seen, like his one here against Barcelona was, but it wasn't bad.
Well, it starts from JT, actually. I don't know how far back we're going to go and see the highlight of the goal, but JT steps in, it's a sloppy pass. And once then...
The Bison.
Yeah, once JT steps in, he then plays the ball out to Michael. Ball goes out to Ramirez. It's a lovely ball in. By the way, that's
a good jump.
By the way, that's better than I thought.
He's got up there, hang time, Michael Essien.
He's leapt, hung, and directed. That's all about there's not a huge amount of pace on the cross. He's had to generate. Do you know, I can see it in his face. He knows this is a good goal. He knows that's a good header. That's not a tap-in. There was a lot of work to be done. Lovely cross from Ramirez on the right-hand side. It's all about the neck muscles. You then got to generate more power and pace, not just from the cross, but you've got to add to it. When you see, you've got the neck the size of him as well, by the way. It's like a birthday cake. Huge neck. You're extending those neck muscles.
Super header, really was, and that familiar Essien smile. Such a quiet bloke. Even when you're having a conversation with him, you sometimes have to ask him to raise his voice. He's so softly spoken, but a bull of a competitor, oh, not a bull, a bison, as he was always called at Lyon. And
injuries, Ben, when I went international duty.
Yep.
And on the knee, never the same player again, unfortunately. We were robbed, I'm afraid, and at that time, of course, when I know the game you're going to say, what do you think when you think of Essien?
Well, Barcelona there, yeah. Arsenal here.
Arsenal here.
Tommy Langley screaming all over the microphone and the distortion. 86th minute, I'll even tell you that Mathieu Flamini had got the Arsenal goal. Weird things you remember, isn't it? We needed that, and that's one of the reasons that incredible Mourinho home run. You remember his record for Porto, then Chelsea and beyond, went on for so long. There are a handful only of occasions where it nearly went, and that Essien goal was one of the ones that stopped it going. Yes. Oh, what a goal. That late fade on the ball, and the TV angle of it, gorgeous, right up there.
Yes, you need the camera behind him to really appreciate, otherwise you just don't appreciate what... It started off target.
Youngsters, if you don't know what I'm talking about when you're watching this game back, make sure you watch that one back. Here's Gallas, onside, tight angle, bit of an air shot, bit of fight ball in the Bayern box. Chelsea the better side here. Deservedly.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea totally dominating. Gallas enjoying down that right-hand side there. Oh, lovely.
Lovely switch, chance for two. Starker makes a big stop. Surely Michael Essien's not scoring two in a game. Surely.
I can't recall that he ever did.
No, yeah, he was a 1 in 10 guy. He's a 1 in 10 guy. He got Ramirez bends another one in for Kalou's on the dive. That's a brilliant piece of defending. Van Boyten down there. What a stop that is.
JT stepping in.
Hit it. Malouda. He sort of had to take that. I think Terry would have hit it. Oh, he's only gone and scored. He's only gone and scored. He kept on running. He kept his position. He stayed on side, and it's an empty net for 2-0. Captain leader, legend and goal scorer. I'm going to call that his 68th for Chelsea.
Well, he had a hand in the first goal. The highlight won't show you that. But he has a hand in the second, more than just the goal. He steps in and wins it again. He's on his toes, nips in front. Malouda's on the left-hand side. JT continues his run. Malouda then just goes on the outside. As he does, it's an overlapping run from JT. He cuts on the left-hand side, drills it across towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Because JT's continued his run, he just toes it into the empty net. The goalkeeper is anticipating he's going to pick it up. And right in front of the shed end.
What a moment.
We can tell, look at his face.
Just
look at his face.
Somebody wonderful, then Barry Davis once said. He's still grinning now as Bayern kick off. He's got the Holy Trinity, a goal, an assist and a clean sheet. I'd get off now and let the berth on if I was you, JT.
Like I said, he had a hand. The first goal was given away. It's a sloppy pass, but he's read it. Steps in.
Well, he's ready. And he's talking, as usual, constantly. Leboeuf on the bench. A lot to live up to.
Do you know what would be fascinating to see, Ben? And it wouldn't work, I know, but should you put just JT in the Chelsea team next Saturday? Do you know what I mean? I mean, I know he's older and he's not as fit, but do you know what I mean?
Well, Thiago Silva.
I know.
It's not that far.
No, he's not, but just
well, how quickly... Well, you know more than me, mate. How quickly does it go when you don't play anymore?
It goes quickly, especially at this level. I done my UEFA B coaching badge with Stevie Clark with the under-18s here many years ago. And I wasn't retired. A lovely tackle from Jody Morris in the middle of the park. And Chelsea have won it again. There's a bit more of an energy about Chelsea being the better side throughout the whole game. There's no question that Chelsea's energy. But I've got to say, Ben, when I coached the sessions, I would join in some of the five-a-sides.
And you were not long retired at this point.
Not huge.
What, a year or two?
Yeah.
Right.
The pace of the game. That's what fans don't realise. It's the pace, the quickness, the way how things move.
So you need some legs next year. Mind you, Thiago Silva's got that. Here's Mikel, no foul. Solomon Kalou. Not for long, though.
Yeah, but these are under 18. These are the youth team players I was playing with. But even so, and you can imagine what it'll be like at the highest levels. It's the quickness of the game. And yes, I think it's fair to say, Ben, we're watching a bit of a slower pace game out there tonight.
Well, I'd hope so. And yes, it is. You're pretty sure that Kale and Terry would be a fine defensive partnership at some level of the football pyramid. Morris able to stride out. Mikel spreading it. Good ball. Appreciated by the Stamford Bridge crowd.
Jody won it again.
He really does, doesn't
do you know
he?
what?
Come and give me the ball. Give me the ball.
But that was Jody as a player, wasn't it? He wanted to make the game tick. He wanted to be the conductor of the orchestra. He wanted to control the tempo, come and get the ball. Technically a brilliant footballer. Size, despite the fact he's not. We all know Jody's not tall. Said never. If you're good enough, you're good enough. Simple as that.
Yeah, there's a chap called Zola on the Chelsea bench.
Yes, indeed, there are. And of course, modern day, I think of Billy Gilmore. Who's tiny little fella, but no.
Andre Mariner, eyes on you for stoppage time. Nicely worked this, actually. And Bertrand has Morris popping up on the left side, and he's carried on running. Ryan Bertrand, right, get in the middle, give him a target. Corner if there's time, and I think there will be. But the Shed End has seen 2 goals already. Time to squeeze in one more.
Maybe. It's going to be an in-swinger. Gary Cahill loves a goal from a set piece. Spurs away.
Yes. Starker comes a long way. That's a good collection, that. Pizarro dropping deep.
He has dropped deep.
He's dropped so deep, he's the last man back. One of those rare players who's really been loved everywhere he's gone, Claudio Pizarro. Spiritual home is Bremen, where he is every kind of record holder, Werder Bremen. Played against them for Chelsea, funnily enough. The Champions League draw always does that. But Bayern and Chelsea too. Always very popular at Cobham as well. Intelligent fella. Absolute gent.
Just watching Mikel there, honestly, it's so... I've watched that little movement, reading the pass going, but you think, God, it's bizarre to watch that again in a blue shirt here at Stamford Bridge, where he's read the pass and scampers. He didn't really travel a lot of distance, he's never known for his pace or never known for his, but he would read the game incredibly well, Mikel.
Yeah, you don't play nearly 400 times under that many different managers, and what you and I will have heard and did hear on a lot of phone-ins and a lot of shows, people questioning it, but
divided opinion.
All those managers picked him. He's played well here, and so has the current number 26, Levi Colwell. Apologies to you. The smiling John Terry has helped make the first goal that was brilliantly headed in by Michael Essien, who, shall we say, is dragging himself off, drenched in sweat more than you've ever seen. He got the first, Terry got the second, and they're all going to cool down. Well played, boys. We expect some changes after the break, and that break is coming now. Yes, it's half an hour each way. Half-time at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 2, Bayern Munich 0, and the Blues absolutely deserve it. No penalties required tonight, folks. Right then, I would say what will the second 45 bring us, but there'll only be 30. But it's going to be a trophy at the end of it when Chelsea play Bayern Munich. That is what should happen, and that is what hopefully will happen. Second half coming up here, tons more quality on the bench, and rather remiss of Jason and I not to pick up on the fact that John Terry scored in the 26th minute, having, remember, come off in his final appearance, of course, in the 26th minute. Typical him.
I have to say, looking back, when he played his last game, there was a little bit of a... it was all... I mean, even the opposition players and the referee were clapping him off. I mean, what's that? It was a Premier League football match. However, certain players deserve certain privileges, and maybe that's just been afforded to it. But you're absolutely right, Ben. And I just listening to Joe there and Lee talking about JT, and we spoke about it. Just wonder with him, he looks so good. It's an enormous grade. I'll let you tell the news there, Ben.
This is our ref cam. Andre Mariner has this on for us tonight. Yeah, never mind your Rugby World Cup. We've got this too. I was watching John Harley warming up, and I missed the attendance, Jason.
34,800 and something.
That is fantastic.
That's astonishing. And you know, you look around. Mid-30s is what we guessed at, but it's an astonishing turnout. And well done, everyone. Honestly, well done. And like you said, Ben, there, it's the players really, because if you have the likes of me on the list, there's no one people to. But you've got to hand it to the likes of JT, and there's some of these boys would have travelled thousands of miles to be here today.
And we're going to see plenty of substitutions here. John Harley's coming on. I've seen Sam Hutchinson, who's let his hair grow. There is, I do believe, is that Claude Makelele? Yes, it is Claude Makelele. John Harley is wearing number 34. I thought that couldn't be right, that Claude Makelele would be wearing that number. Sam Hutch still playing at Reading. And Gianfranco Zola teasing us, but now going back to sit down behind Tor Andre Flo. Michael Essien looked absolutely shattered when he walked off at half-time, so the huge grin of Claude Makelele has replaced him in Chelsea's central midfield. What a player. How many people have a role named after them? Reid Muller's on in goal for Bayern, by the way. He's replaced Tom Starker. They'll be making plenty of changes too. I should just say, Claude Makelele's stats, 217 appearances. Tell me if you can remember how many goals Jason Candy.
I can name you 2.
There aren't any others. The tapping off the missed penalty.
Yes.
And the Spurs worldie.
Yes, indeed. And also, what's probably missed amongst all this is the shot against Arsenal at the Highbury, where we get the equaliser. That was his shot that came in.
And Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
Very good.
That was his shot.
That's a very good point. It was. So thank God he couldn't shoot. So therefore, because that might not have gone the same way. Before Wayne Bridge.
Ben, the penalty was hilarious. I'm pretty sure you and I done the commentary. Where
yes.
It was the way in the Matthew Harding lower.
Awful.
And he missed, and the crowd have gone, ugh. And then of course it spilt, and he come back and the rebound he scored. So actually, he didn't actually score a penalty. It was in, I suppose it was.
No, it's a goal from open play.
Open play
counts as a goal from open play.
The Spurs one as well, though. It's an absolute screamer.
Picked up by Sam Hutch, who may not have played anywhere near as many times, but would have played plenty more had he been able to stay fit for sure. And should I just say, absolutely down the road, Windsor boy, Chelsea family right the way through. No one was prouder to put on the blue shirt than Sam Hutchinson, and he'll be thrilled to do it again tonight.
Ben, I worked with Sam on Chelsea TV when he retired, and he was looking for a new career, didn't know where his career was going to go. He'd had to forced to retire through a knee injury. Anyway,
here's Kalou. That's a good ball, splitting past. I think it was from Hutchinson. Kalou showing the fancy footwork. He's all on his own. He needs a bit of help. It didn't arrive. Bayern have dealt with it, and that is a filthy foul. Ramirez late to the party.
Yeah, I love the fact that when these games like this, it's actually not a great tackle that from Ramirez at all, in all honesty. Do you know what? It's a yellow card, by the way. It's a yellow card all day long. The rest
do you think you can get sent off in a Legends match? I suppose you can.
Well,
do you think Andre Mariner's got cards in his pocket? We know he's got a camera. No, but genuinely.
It's late. It's high.
Genuine question: are there cards in that pocket? Do you reckon?
Well, do you know what?
Do you think he just says to the manager, "Oh, get him off. He's getting cross."
Do you know what? I wonder if there'll be some ironic, funny cheers if there was a yellow card pulled out. There might have been a little bit of that.
They're good. Here comes Chelsea again. 2-0 up, the better side. Mikel.
No, they
said shoot. That's where we hit it from.
Yes.
His first goal, Macclesfield.
FA Cup.
Macclesfield, and he hit Oh, he got his laces behind it like as good as any ball has ever been struck. And yeah, then he scored 5 more in about 120 years. We were getting excited then. Michael Woods played in that match, Chelsea's 4th youngest ever debutant. And I was commentating with the 3rd youngest, Tommy Langley at the time. 16.
Wowzers, we signed him from Leeds.
I know where Tommy is now. I don't know where Michael Woods is now. Hope he's all right. Lovely boy. Anyway, we digress. Brankovic forward into Paulo Sousa, who's able to turn. Disappointing touch that from that's Roy Mackay. They brought on up top. The Dutchman who sounds Scottish. Nice little touch in field, but it didn't go anywhere from Trunkowski. So I should just say, Hilario's in goal, and John Harley for Ryan Bertrand at left back is that change, and Terry Cahill still there, and I do believe you know the right back pretty well.
Mr. Sinclair, one of my oldest mates in football, Frankie. Yeah, first met Frank when I was probably 12. A chance.
Look at him go, Hutch, go on! What a stop that is from Reid Muller. Sam Hutchinson, midfield maestro. It's no coincidence, folks, I can say it now, Bayern have got the ball. It's no coincidence that the lad who is still able to play, even though he's not a midfielder, has been put in midfield. Yeah,
and yes, you can see there the way he danced, and I use the word deliberately, danced his way through. Pace, power, sharpness, and it's just the, I said earlier, didn't I, Ben, in there, it's just the pace.
He'll like this because he is amongst superstar footballers, and he's going to look better than all of them. Because he's just done that. Yeah. He's just done that as if he's Jude Bellingham. Kalou appreciates the intention of the pass.
Lucio just sitting coming out the back there. It's the runs, Ben. You know, even they look so familiar. Just the body shape, the run there, the gait, the way they move with the ball is that. Of course, why would it change? Of course it's not, but
it just creaks a bit more. But orally speaking, it changes, but visually it doesn't. Here's Sinclair.
Oh, Frankie!
That's a terrible ball.
Come on, Francis.
He's also getting a message later
on.
I'm first pass.
He's getting it. He's getting it.
And if Bayern
still a
anything
fit boy,
about
though.
them, they might be. Well, yes.
Still a fit boy, Frank.
He played for a good while, didn't he, at the non-league level?
Yes, he did. Still very much carving a career in coaching as well. He's a lovely kid, Frank. We go back a very long way.
He's got to come out here and do a bit of marking because Diego Contento, who is on, has put in a brilliant cross.
Frank's got to get out quicker, Ben.
Near post header.
Ben, he's labouring. Frank's labouring. He's off the bench. Frank, come on. I mean, I don't want to have a pop at my mates here, but